Good morning. This is Carol Martine. I'm back in my studio and I'm so happy that you could join me this morning. These are 2 pages from my new Ballet Altered Book Journal. If you will remember, I showed these to you in a previous video, and I thought that I would begin this morning by sharing with you what I have already done, because the things that I have done here certainly do not need terribly much explanation or for you to watch them before it becomes all just too much. The first thing I did was go to free clip art and find pictures of ballet slippers that are down on the floor and a pair of legs with toes in dance mode. I sketched these on with my handy Graph Gear 500 pencil, and I sketched on the ballet slippers that I called Ballet and Repose. And after I finished that, I went over them with my Sharpie pen. I next used my Misket, which is liquid frisket, and I painted this orangish color because, as you can see, when mixed, the frisket becomes an orange so that you can see where you've been. I covered these legs and shoe ballet slippers up with the Misket because I want to leave them alone while I do other things to the page. And then when I decide to get to these, I can just rub this off. I used, to do that, a very old, half-dead, splayed out brush that works a treat in frisket. As soon as I finished putting the frisket on, oh, I almost forgot. I also put frisket from this point down on these 2 legs and on her leg, because I see a line depicting the floor and the wall, and I don't know where or how I'm going to do this yet, so I thought I would be better safe than sorry. So I then went back and covered up from here down on her foot and leg and ankle and his 2 legs. I find that if as soon, I mean like immediately after you use your frisket, if you go and run water, I mean seriously run water on your brush and use your fingernail, and you can pick out and pull out the rubber so that it's movable again. Because if you left it on more than maybe 5 minutes, it would become a hard stump. And I have done that before and wasted these old brushes. Now, these old brushes are precious for jobs like this. So I found that the trick here is get that into the sink underwater, just plain water, as fast as possible so that you can dig your fingernail in and pull out the rubber that remains in the brush. I then decided to add the flowers. Again, I used my mechanical pencil, and I found it quite easy to erase anything that needed to be erased because I had at first covered this sheet with white gesso and this side with clear. I went then, after finishing my drawings, I went back over them twice with my Sharpie pen. I kind of like the early 60s illustration, making this curtain the floor muted and lovely. So I went into my Neocolor 2, and I just employed a little bit of this color that I thought was kind of close to this over here. And I extended this over. I don't know why. I just thought it would be nice to do so. And put on some lines of color on this side to make the eye sweep across. In this area, I used 2 Neocolors and an Aquarelle Light Flesh, my Neocolor Mauve and my Neocolor Rose, and just put a light touch, crayoned on a light touch on the background. And now I'm going to start to work these colors with some gesso, with some water and gesso. I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to start on this one. I'm going to dampen my brush and get started. I'm going to stop the video at this point so that you can watch my process speeded up, because I know that your time is valuable. And of course, if there's anything that I think I need to stop and talk to you about, I'll break in. Otherwise, see you at the end of my first spread in my Ballet Altered Book Journal. If you enjoy watching my process, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you again soon. Here we go.